I will design some processes for the people that are in the room to be centered, to be grounded.
So when we talk about facilitation, what is a kind of process that goes on in the room? We have the concept, but what is what's the whole process?
All right. There are many different ways of, if you were to look at the process or the flow, I call it the flow in a session,
Right.
there are many different opinions of it. For us, we have what we call the 4 C's. Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever I do a session, a facilitation session, I will always design my session based on the 4 C's, 4 phases of
Okay.
So the first phase is what I call the centering phase.
Okay.
So I will design some processes for the people that are in the room to be centered, to be grounded, to basically be present. Yeah, but that's important because without that, I will not be able to do anything with them because their mind is all over the place. So now that they are centered, what do I do with them? The second C is where I would then set the context of the day, meaning I will frame the session so that they know what is going to happen, they know what's expected of them, they know the objective, they know their roles, they know my role, and they know how to work with each other. So that's also important. Yeah. So that is the second C. The third C is the content. So this is the third phase. And this is the biggest phase. Yeah. However, the first 2 phase is as important as the third phase. Because if the first 2 phase is not done well enough, the content phase, which is the biggest chunk, will not be able to be done well. So the content phase has got many phases in between lah. So for example, some would say the first phase of the content would be clarifying things, yeah, or setting the clarity of what are they going to do. And then the second part will be, maybe ideating, etc., etc. So the content has got many variation. So that's the third phase. Yeah, in general, the third phase. The last phase is now that the content or the processes have been done and the objective have been met, I need to close the session. So that's the 4th C. Yeah. So centering, context set, the content, which is the processes of the facilitation to arrive at the objective of the session, and last, I need to close it. Yeah. So there will be other activities or processes that I will use to close the session. So that would be somewhat the flow of a coaching of a facilitation session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And do you ask? So first thing is you set the whole context, set the grounding and everything, and then go on to the actual output.
Yes.
And then the closing, right?
Yes. But very early on, you must remember the centering part. Yes, sir. Because the centering part is where you get them to be present in the room, ready to go. Because a lot of time when you do facilitation session or even training, people come in, their mind is still thinking about home, still thinking about, did I lock the car? Will I be able to have time to answer my email? So they are not present. And it's very difficult when people are not present to actually move them forward. So that's why it's important to start off with centering to get them to be present before the context set happens.
Okay, got it.